Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com. Video number 3 of my search for wines, chillable red wines that can go with spring glam. Common thread here is Bordeaux grape family. They are all from southern France, apart from the final one, but we'll get onto the final one last, because that's the type of order I like to do. First one though, it is the Moulin de Gassac, so this is from the Master Domas Gassac stable, Pays d'Hérault, and it's Merlot 2011. Give it a whirl. It smells big, plump and plummy, but it also feels like there's, sometimes when people grow Merlot, they want to eradicate all edges of greenness. Here they've got the ripe, juicy flavours, but they've still got that refreshing herbal edge. It's not herbaceous, it's herbal, it's just adding a welcome edge of something beyond ripe fruit. So there's a juiciness, but it feels like there's life beyond juicy fruit here. Rich, rounded, juicy, plummy, but refreshing. It's got this, as I say, it's got this slightly green edge, and the fruit has never gone overripe. There's still a perkiness there to its perky, dusty plums, as it were, and a bit of damson in there too. Nice wine, yeah, and nice at this temperature. These, as I said on the earlier videos, these have just come from a cool cellar and pretty nice at that temperature. I wouldn't mind half an hour in the fridge either. Next one is still in southern France. This is Réserve Saint-Marc from the Foncalier organisation, and it's a 2011 Cabernet Sauvignon Pays d'Oc. Well, I'm not sure quite what they've done here, but it feels like there's some quite nice fruit, but then someone has tried to be a little bit clever and oaked it, and I'm not sure whether that oak flavour, there's a slight dusty sawdust character, whether it comes from a barrel or alternative forms of oak. I find that just smothering the juiciness of the fruit, and there is this bit of clumsy vanilla that I'm not so sure about. I may be wrong, let's taste it. Now it's that vanilla and oak that really stand out and take away really for me from the enjoyment of the fruit. The Moulin de Gassac does it much more successfully. I'm not sure whether there's any oak on that, but for me a far better wine. This one feels, it's okay, but I wouldn't be crossing the street to have another glass of it. Let's see whether I can say I'd want to cross the street for the wine number 3. So this is Domaine Mas Barreau. Mas means farmhouse. So Cabernet Franc, Pays du Gard, and lovely picture of the bridge at Nîmes there. And anyway, what vintage? 2011, but weighing in at 15% alcohol. Will that poke out? Let's give it a whirl and see. I'd say it's a bit pongy at the moment. It feels I mean, I've just unscrewed the screw cap and feels like a wine that really needs to calm down and get its hair together. It feels like it's just got out of bed and it's having it's got a bit of sleep in its eyes. So I smell that slightly awkward, sulphury bit of reduction. Maybe is there that has that sulphur found its way into the wine, never to be removed. I'll keep swirling and then I'll have a taste, and I will be back directly. Does feel a bit awkward at the moment. What I'm noticing is that tight sulphury character, and then this big plump tar-like core of warm fruit flavour. As something that to be served at this temperature, I don't find it too successful, unless it could be that what it needs to doing is having a decant, and then I don't know if you ever do this, decant something and then shove it in the fridge. It sounds like, why not do that? Try it with some wines if they're being a little bit awkward, but then they get a bit too warm. Try it. So I might come back to that one. Certainly of those still wines, the Moulin de Gassac has been the most successful. Yes, I say of the still wines, because wine number 4 is a sparkler, and this is where we're not in France, we're in Australia. So this is Grant Burge, and it's Shiraz Cabernet Method Traditionnel, and I think it's all from the Barossa. I'm not sure, it doesn't say on here. Oh yeah, it does, Barossa. Weighing in at 14%, so less alcohol than the one before. Now, sparkling red wines, Australia has a a long tradition of them. And some of the most incredible aged Australian wines I've had have been Old Seppelt's Sparkling Shiraz. I remember having a 1967 and a 1946. That was quite a long time ago, maybe mid-90s. But it was amazing how fresh they were, because what you've got everything there that. Well, not quite everything, but a lot of things there that will help a wine age. So you've got alcohol, you've got tannin, you've got sugar, because in order to, if you're doing a sparkling wine and you've got tannin in there, you need something to balance it. So they add quite a lot of dosage, and just before bottling, what it is it does a secondary fermentation in the bottle to give it the bubbles, and then they shove something in there to add sweetness. What some of them do is they buy old fortified wines and liqueur their wines with that. So here it's Shiraz Cabernet. I do find these wines really do need quite a lot of age before they lose they're almost a bit Tigger-like when they're young. Is this going to be one of those that's a bit Tigger-like? Give it a whirl. Well, fascinating this. I'm not sure how old the wine is here. I look at the colour of it, and it's certainly not a brash youngster. It's quite mellow. So there's the soft, mellow, leathery character that you get in Old Barossa Reds. But then there's also something, I don't know whether they've softened it with something that almost feels like they've put a dollop of Moscato in there, because there's this soft grapey roundness as well, and it smells like it's going to have quite a lot of flavour, but not so much that it's going to overwhelm you, which is the problem with some of them when you get them too young. Fascinating style. It doesn't feel like they've got. I was talking earlier about the tannin. Feels here like it wasn't a particularly tannic wine that they worked on in the first place. So there's a juiciness, there's a roundness, there's this mixture of mellowness and fruit freshness. I don't know whether the idea of having it as a non-vintage blend is they've got a bit of old wine and they've blended in some younger wine, which may even have been white wine. But there is. Yeah, it's almost like as if someone's put some Moscato or Viognier in there to round it out. And it's strange. If you over chill these reds, it's the tannin that pokes out. I don't think there's heaps of tannin here, but at this temperature, it's looking really nice. I think I might have to rather quickly go out and find some lamb and see whether this goes well. In terms of favourites of the wines, I think it's. That probably the second. I thought the Moulin de Gassac was really, really good, and both of those I'd be very happy to sit down and munch with me spring lamb lunch. Hope you will too. See you soon.